Yo, what's going on, everybody? LegnaK here for a recap video for the San Antonio Premier Premier Challenge. Premier Challenge, yeah, that's what they're called. I honestly can never remember. All I know is they're called PCs. And well, this is going up the day after Dallas or the day of finals in Dallas. I'm not entirely sure when I'm going to be doing this, but this is recorded the day after the San Antonio PC. So yeah. I don't know how I'm going to do in Dallas, but this is kind of just going up afterwards because I'm going to be using the same team with some slight modifications, some very slight modifications, and I just don't want to reveal like the entire thing to the world just before Dallas and have like a massive underhand, or not underhand, but disadvantage. But anyways, so quick recap. I won. I'm still kind of riding that high of, oh my god, I actually won. But yeah, yeah, we won. The team did very well. We went 5-2 before the semifinal, or not 5-2, 3-2, because it was best of 5 rounds before the finals. I'll explain more as we go along, but I just kind of want to show you guys the entire team. Do a recap. I haven't done one of these in years because like the last one I did was what, 2017. About this time of year too, and 2018 I just said fuck it. The team I took there, it royally pissed me off because Valley Switch. But without further ado, let's get into it. First Pokemon we're going to be doing is our boy Duraludon, and he's just like automatically switching. So Duraludon was one of those Pokemon that I wasn't entirely sure that it was going to be like the best option for the team. But especially with the Power Herb set that I'm running, because I'm running a very janky team, I was hesitant. I was very hesitant, because like there was a lot of matches that I could not really use Duraludon. Now, there was the occasional like follow me strat that it really worked out. There was actually one team that was using follow me and Trick and Whimsicott, which just was not... It just did not end well for him because Stalwart is a broken ability. It's a great ability. I love it. I wish that it came out, during the reign of Smeargle. Like, the reign of Smeargle would have made this thing a absolute monster to get around. But, okay, let's continue on here. Duraludon, because I'm rambling. I know I'm rambling, and I'm sorry. Duraludon was a kind of bulky Pokemon. I kind of forgot how frail it was in the special defensive side, even after building this. So the one time that he did get hit with a special move, he just dropped like a sack of potatoes, and I was actually rather surprised. He hit like an absolute truck, though, able to also like set up the likes of like grassy terrain to mitigate any kind of like earthquake from Rhyperior. I think there was one Rhyperior I went up against. I think. Yeah, there was one Rhyperior I went up against, and that saved us. Because for some reason, the guy was a bulky, very fat one. That it just barely eked out a survive, like at 3 hit points. But we managed to survive. Actually, no, that's not right. That's not right. Something's not right there. Oh, no, I was already at -2. That's what happened. I was at -2 because I had to drop a Draco. That's what happened. Sorry, I was very confused. It's still all cloudy, and as I said, I'm still riding that like, oh my god, we won. It should be fresh in my mind, but I'm just not very smart. So we also had the standard Draco Meteor Flash Cannon for like anti-dragon, anti-fairy types. Didn't really need it too much. Like, I love Duraludon. Like, Duraludon was a good player, but I wouldn't consider him a key player. And the reason I have him here is just because this is how the team was in order. In the battle box, so I was just running with it. Let's go ahead and move to our next Pokemon, because I don't really have much else to say to Duraludon besides the fact that it was good, and like it just wasn't like super needed. Like, Duraludon was a good like second, what do you call it? Second option? Like second lead option? Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Togekiss. Togekiss, oh my god, where do I begin with Togekiss? This Pokemon was, without a doubt, one of the most lethal and destructive Pokemon that I've ever had to use. And I know that it's weird that we're running a super bulky variant that, typically seems to be a support one. And the reason for that was initially I was going to have Togekiss as just support when I first started theory crafting the team. But then again, or not then again, but then when I started using it offensively, I was like, maybe the Bolt can be good because we're already getting the +2 in special attack. We really don't need to emphasize English is fun. I didn't think I had to empathize with it too terribly much. Is it empathize? Whatever. We're moving on. I can't English. But yeah, at +2, Dynamax, it survived. Like even without. God damn it! What am I saying? I got distracted because my brother tried calling me. Fuck. I didn't want to redo all this video because I'm already 5 minutes in. Okay, so yeah, we decided to go for a bulky variant because it survived against things like Excadrill, like Dynamax Excadrill. Steel Spike does not KO, like, it does not KO, and then we could just, like, launch it back with a Max Flare. And even if the Max Flare survives, the support, either Mimikyu or the support Vanillux will also, like, be able to finish off with a Shadow Sneak or Ice Shard, respectively. Which we haven't gotten to yet, but we will show you. The Air Slash was really good for like supporting, Vanillux to be faster because Vanillux is in a weird speed tier, and it could just sweep. The two of them together just made an excellent sweeping combination, and I am so happy how this team has come along. But yeah, Vanillux Togekiss is a lethal lead because also Togekiss could also get hit by Vanillux's own Ice Shard. That's the word. I know I just said it and I forgot, but I had to use that 1 or 2 times, I believe. I think I used it 1 or 2 times. I think it was also in the finals that I used it like twice. Because no, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I didn't use it once. The one time I did need to use it, I accidentally used Freeze Dry on my own Togekiss. I wish that there was a record ability to like save all the battles. I hate that there's none because like actually the battles would be playing on the side instead of just the image. But no matter, y'all. So yeah, moving on. Togekiss also had Dazzling Gleam, which also shut down Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl, pretty much anything that was weak to a Tyranitar just dropped that +2. Like Tyranitar just dropped that +2. Unless it was Dynamax. I didn't even go against a single Dynamax one. But Togekiss actually was a very, very nasty Pokemon. I kept Serene Grace just because even at the speed, I can just flinch the opponent to Oblivion at like 60% chance or something along those lines. Like 60% chance made it, yeah. So I just, yeah. It was nasty. I don't normally like that, but at this point we gotta win what we gotta win. Moving on to our next Pokemon, we have our beautiful Goddess of Death, as I call her, Vanillux. She's just such an aggressive Pokemon. Like, she's timid in nature. We decided to go for speed over, like, offensiveness, just so we can get, like, a Roar Veil up against slightly slower Mons. And even still, we got moves like Ice Shard, which was great for, like, finishing off priority, like, Sash users that somehow were resistant, like ice type users that were Sash. We didn't come across a single one of those, but we did use it also to pick off the likes of like Dynamax, Excadrill, other things that just somehow survived the Max Flare. Literally nothing else. As I said, I was going to initially use it primarily to start off the weakness policy on Togekiss, but that, as I said, didn't quite work. We ended up using Freeze Dry because I wasn't paying attention. I was a little distraught, but we still managed to pull back on that one. We also had Aurora Veil, just a little bit extra defense. Never hurt anybody. It's actually really good that we decided to go with the Aurora Veil. Breeding it was an absolute bitch, though, because it took forever to find, a decent father. I found nothing but, like, female. I found nothing but female Snovers. That pissed me off so much. But regardless, we're not talking about the breeding process. We're talking about how this team actually went. Vanillux and Togekiss were by far and by far and above the lead I use like 90% of the time. Like 90% of the time, it was this lead, because if they're not prepared, it just sweeps. It just trashes. And I'm hoping that, you know, whenever I get to Dallas in a couple weeks, it does good. I hope it does really good at that point. I feel it's still going to. I still think that's going to be a dominant thing. But yeah, Blizzard, because you know we had the hail going, so it was 100% accuracy. Freezing, I cannot tell you how many times I've frozen opponents, and I kind of again wanted to feel bad, but we gotta win. Like we have to win what we can. So like the blizzard and the freezing, it actually happened in the finals. I think it happened. Yeah, no, it definitely happened in the finals because I remember like looking to the crowd watching, and I was like, she normally doesn't do this. But, yeah, I lied. She does this all the time. She likes freezing things. She is a very fickle girl. I can't really say much else about her besides the fact that, like, these two, like, her and Togekiss have to be the MVPs. Like, her and Togekiss have to be MVPs. Let's go ahead and move over to... Oh, yeah, also the EV distribution. Let's talk about that real quick. The EV distribution, it's just full offensive. Pretty much everything else from here on out is just full offensive, full offensive, full offensive. Not much needed to be done there. Practically everything is 252, as we can see here. Next up is Mimikyu. This is another one that is kind of like in the contender for like MVP. God. So the funny thing with this is, initially I was going to go with Shadow Claw over Phantom Force, but I had given this team to my friend the Covidian, who you've seen on my channel many times before. I gave him this team because he was kind of struggling on his own. I was like, dude, just try this team. And he started, like, tinkering with it, like, doing his own thing. And, yeah, the Mimikyu he did... Like, I was literally sitting there writing down the team sheet, and I was sitting there, and I was like, no, hang on. We're going to switch up to Phantom Force because it seems to be doing K very well. And I'm actually really glad that I did because, like, Phantom Force is great for, like, stalling out Dynamax turns. Like, it's really great for stalling out Dynamax turns. It's good for stalling out Dynamax turns. It hits like a truck. It breaks Protect. So that's why I also kept with the Jolly. I have like an Adamant Mimikyu as well I was going to use. But no, I decided to use our little Jolly one because that way it could break Protect and then whatever else is behind can just trash because outside of Whimsicott, Mimikyu was the fastest on the team. Was packing the Lumberry because I know a lot of people would like to target down Mimikyu because of the potential Trick Room because the team does look a little bit slower. It is a little bit on the slower side, so it could run as a Trick Room team. I considered even using that and dropping Shadow Sneak, but I opted not to do that. Swords Dance was really great because like there were some things like Gashadon that were just super bulky that my team can't get around if I, you know, either if I didn't bring Duraludon or Vanillix went down. Swords Dance was great because, you know, +2 Play Rough does like 70 or 80%. You know, way outside the ability for them to recover. So it was really good to be running that. I'm trying to think what else could be said. Shadow Sneak again, you know, just to like bust through things, you know, get that little extra priority, you know, finish off things that could otherwise be a threat, all that jazz. But yeah, no, Mimikyu was definitely a good MVP. If it wasn't for that Phantom Force, I probably would not have done as well as I did, because it did save me 1 or 2 times. That 1 or 2 times does add up though. Alright, next up is everybody's favorite Pokemon, Dracovish. Dracovish here, oh my god. Like, I thought about running the Scarf variety, but like I would rather have some freedom and liberty, especially if I get paired up against Gashadon. Gashadon is one of those Pokemon that just hardwall Dracovish if it's like a choice item. So I decided to go for a little extra oomph with the Adamant 252. Vicious Rend, Protect, Crunch, Psychic Things. That way we get the Strong Jaw boost on all of them. And here's the thing. Dracovish it's broken. I love Dracovish to death, but god, is it a broken Pokemon. Vicious Rend, if it outspeeds anything, nothing survives really. There was a Ferrothorn I went into against, and I think I did close to like 80% or something like that, because No, not at the PC. At the PC, during testing. I should clarify. During testing, it was like did like 80%, and it was just like, oh my god. But yeah, no, Dracovish is definitely the hyper offensive that I would put in the back. I typically have him in the back. That way. Oh, I'm trying to think of the words. Dracovish, I would just have in the back. That way, I could either switch him in, replacing Vanillux for Max Airstream. That way, he was like the absolute fastest thing on the field. I think only losing to Dragapult, and I don't recall if I ever seen a Dragapult in that matchup. Like any of my matchups, I don't think I came across a single Dragapult, which was the only thing I was like mildly afraid of with a Dracovish. So essentially, like, this is just a high offensive, like, super powerful, like, Pokemon that just pretty much, it's a lean, mean killing machine. I can't really say much else about it, but Dracovish definitely pulled his own weight. It's a generalist Pokemon. I don't care. I call it a he. But he was a very, very, very offensive presence. Very offensive presence. Yeah. No, I prefer. I think he's going to stick on my team for a very long time, just because I do enjoy Dracovich's like just raw, unfiltered power. All right, moving on to the last Pokemon, because I know we should be wrapping up here because this is already 16 minutes into this recording session, and yeah, I've just been rambling. I ramble way too much. Last but certainly not least, we have Whimsicott. Whimsicott here. Oh, I love this eject button strap. Oh my god. This is the one thing I definitely like did snag from, you know, a certain high-end player, aka Wolfie Glick. Yeah, I stole this one from him because like it was just too good. It was just way too good. Oh, I love this Pokemon so much. So it was the standard, you know, timid one. You know, I actually went for special attack. That way Moonblast did some extra damage instead of the HP. Because Whimsicott kind of goes down, like, no matter what. But the switcheroo was absolutely phenomenal for, like, shutting down things like Dynamax. There was one I went against. It was a Dynamax Sandaconda. I took out that one. I took out that one game too, but it still wasn't enough. That was like the one of the two matches, or one of the two sets that I lost was this Sandaconda, but I did get around it, but it just was not enough. So that happened. Let's see. We have these. We have Taunt. Taunt was really good for shutting down things like opposing Tailwinds, Trick Rooms, all that jazz. Too bad it doesn't work on Grimmsnarl because it's a Dark type. Like, if it did, like, Whimsicott probably would be the most broken Pokemon in the meta. But we also had Tailwind just in case. Like, just in case we weren't going to use Togekiss in the matchup. But I don't even think I used Tailwind once. Though I'm not going to, like, remove it anytime soon. I might be keeping it the same way for Dallas. Just because, like, there could be a time that, you know, I could benefit from leading Whimsicott to Ralladon or something along those lines and just shut down absolutely everything. But yeah, Moonblast was offensive because there's one thing I can't stand is having a Pokemon with absolutely no offensive moves. Like, I do not want to be sitting, like, with, you know, just twiddling my thumbs, waiting for them to do anything because I'm not a man to forfeit. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything with this team. We did go for a bulky, hyper-offensive team. Like, I don't even really like to consider it a hyper-offensive team, even though it clearly is, just because, like, there's still enough setup and stuff, I get hesitant. But yeah, so, pretty much, I went 16-9 in total matches. 16-9, which I could do better. I could do much better. There's a little bit more that I could do because, as I said, I am taking the same team to Dallas. Probably just a little bit extra, like, modifications and whatnot. Give me a second. There's some things I'm thinking that I might be missing, but I don't know. But overall, very, very pleased on how this team came out. Very pleased, very happy with it. And honestly, I can't wait to have this uploaded. and or probably the day or two afterwards, there will be a Dallas recap. So you guys are going to be getting more videos on this channel. And if you guys haven't already, like, consider following on Twitch, subbing on here. Pretty much everything has been going on in the bottom corner, as you can see. But yeah, team is going to be pasted in a PokePaste down there, so you can try it out yourselves. Like, y'all get to try it out yourselves now. Yay! By the time you're seeing this, yay, yay, yay! I'm happy. Um, and I think after Dallas, I'll have a rental team. I'll have the rental team of both variants. Actually, probably would be forgetting because I'm going to be using the same Duraludon. You'll get the Dallas variant on the rental team because that's the more refined version. But anyways, guys, I think that's about all for this video. Thank you guys for putting up with my rambling for 20 minutes straight. And yeah, that's going to do it. You guys have a fantastic day. I hope you guys enjoy this team. And yeah, I look forward to knowing how it does for y'all. But yeah, that's it. You guys have a great one, and I'll see you guys next time.